And we're live. It's the Mud and Fowler Scrum with Sam and Nicola. And yeah, Nicola, let's start with you. How are things going with you?
Amazing. I've been working with yesterday with an NPM module because I was using the library that this guy in the course, in the Udemy course, was providing, but he didn't have the documentation for making the things that maybe I wanted to do. So I changed the library, but that library also didn't work. So I ended up creating my own thanks to you. Thanks to your suggestion. Yeah. So now it's working. So we can search in a specific playlist. So if we specify a playlist, this it could be like a cool thing, I think, because if we want to do it for website one, the only thing that the user needs is to add the ID identifying the folder or the playlist that they have associated with the scrums that they were participating in. So yeah, that was cool. Yeah.
Great stuff.
Yeah. And I have no blockers. Yep.
Okay, great. Wonderful. Good show. Thank you, Nicola. Paul is here as well. Hey, Paul, how are you doing?
Oh, good, Sam. Yeah, just working on the prototype application for OpenPF Power. At the moment, building the IoTivity node framework that provides a API binding for JavaScript.
Good stuff. And anything blocking you at the moment?
Attempting to build it.
Right. So just a general getting it done.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, just working through it.
All right. Good show. Oh, great to hear from you. Thanks, Paul. Yeah, let's do me. Yeah, so I just came out of a meeting with Mikhail. Yeah, so we've got this new MyNote boat paid project that's going to probably be using React Native, Firebase, and so on. So that's exciting. And yeah, we just agreed about proposing sort of building a prototype just in HTML, maybe with a static site generator like Middleman or something as a kind of initial offer to do sort of some prototyping in a sort of design sprint style prototyping and testing. Yeah, so that's exciting stuff. What else has happened before that? Yeah, I was working on website one, getting the data updated, slow and steady. It's taking a long time. What else was going on? Yeah, yesterday I was supposed to be off, but then I was, yeah, my crazy week. And tomorrow morning I'm going to be at a big conference of social prescribing for the NHS in the UK. So yeah, I can't run the Martin Fowler Scrum tomorrow. But coming up soon, we've got the deep learning mob is taking place, and that's in a few minutes. And then what else? We've got a local support meeting today. I think that's about the size of the agenda. Of course, other exciting things is we've made connection with the Gitcoin community, and they've got an interesting framework for like basically allowing people to assign Ethereum bounties on issues and bugs and things in GitHub, which is sounds like fun. So yeah, sort of excited about that. And then there's also other things coming up. We've got the Phoenix One planning meeting, the SHF sprint review and planning. All details in the general channel. We've also had Faith join us. Hello, Faith. How are you doing?
Fine. How are you?
Good to see you.
Hi.
Good to see you too.
Welcome to the Mud and Fowler Scrum. We've just been going around talking about what we were doing if we were blocked on anything. Yeah, anything you'd like to share with us about what you're working on or what you're doing?
I'm here to listen. I just had to reach out to Nicholas to help me out to get started.
Oh, great stuff. Yeah. Well, yeah. Unfortunately, we just finished the Scrum part, but it is all recorded. So if you want to hear what we all said before, then you can watch the video from before. But yeah, we're now into the after Scrum phase where we can just see if there's anything else that we need to address. The only thing on my mind was talking to Nicola about this local support pull request. there.
The one, the newsletter event.
Yeah, the newsletter one. But is there anything else that we should be discussing?
One of the things you suggested to do only one method involving all the logic, but I don't know what it will involve to create the campaign. So if we have to generate the HTML that is going to be inside that is going to be the template that is going to be used in the campaign, I think that it will involve like more code. Maybe we, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, let me. So let's. I guess the two things I'd love to talk to you about is one, the structure of this service or job within the local support projects, and the other one is doing a production release on website 1. In this newsletter events, I'm not saying that there shouldn't be multiple methods on the job or the service. So if we go and find this is the job here, so we've got this job there. I guess it'd probably be easier for me, I think, if I pull out, I go and grab, it's from Stella, is it there? Okay. So if I go and find local support, and let's go here. There we go. So git fetch Stella, and check out that one. See here, it doesn't. That's so smooth, you know. It just grabs it and then it makes a branch. There's a copy of it locally. I don't know why. Sometimes it doesn't do that. I don't know why it doesn't always do that, because it's always. I'd always prefer it to do that. Anyway, so let's have a look at local support. And
when you do that and you try to push your changes, it will create a new branch, right?
Well, it's created the new branch locally for me, and if I then push it to origin, it will create a new branch on the origin, which is the main system.
Yeah.
But so we've got this in here as a application job here. So where is that?
We need that because of the Rails 5 upgrade.
Yeah, it's okay. So we've got a little bit of a. If we're going to call it a job, then we should probably put it in the jobs folder. I mean, I'm not sure what
that was something that I was thinking also, but I ended up calling it shop because there was another one that is batch invite shop, and I say, okay, maybe I can name it that, but I can change the name. I mean,
interesting. I guess we've got these. It's a question of, is it, extending this job or not?
Nope.
And if it's not, then probably we shouldn't. And then that also means like this shouldn't be called a job, really. Anyway,
okay.
But so if we go into the newsletter, I'm not saying that we shouldn't have multiple methods, but so for example, well, the big picture thing that I'm talking about in the code is that for any entity that we create, we want to make the interface with it as simple as possible. And I kind of want to draw that, so I am actually going to go to Google Draw now. Like so, and it's really okay, fine. You'd have thought Google would get draw.google.com and then you can have it to just have drawings. And for me, I almost always see this visually. Like when I'm looking at a piece of code, the combination of what we have of like public and protected and private methods is kind of a, it's almost like the surface of a sphere, right? So, or a square or what have you, just that it's a shape or an object.
Yeah.
So if I grab this and we grab a shape, and we can imagine that this is our entity, and so this is like the newsletter sending class, and so if we put like a series of different class methods on it, that means that we've got a series of different ways in which we can interact with it and make things happen to it and potentially be adjusting. So it becomes a complex entity, and then there can be complex interactions with other entities. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So when I look at this and I see this events method, like it seems to me like here we're going to do data Yeah, I guess what you do and format event there is.
Yeah, I had to break it because Robocop, it was complaining that the method has too many lines. So
yeah,
I needed a specific format for each event that is going to be displayed, because we only need the title, the date in a specific format, and the URL to that event.
But so what you've got now in this setup is that you've now got lots and lots of public self methods. So you've got like events, and so what's happened here is we've got this is now the events method, and this is now the format event, and it sort of, I mean, you know, potentially it all works. I mean, I would say don't worry about.
I understand that it's wrong, because I mean, I started doing it this way because it was easier for me to test it. So it wasn't from the beginning. It wasn't a good reason to do it in this way. So yeah, I mean, I understand that it had to be a class within its methods of the object.
But what I would encourage is that you try and create something a bit like this, so that basically you only allow it to have one class method.
Yes.
And that's, you know, we've done it like these things, and so the kind of style that I would be encouraging here is so that we want to imagine how does the person who wants to interact with the class, you know, call that and ask for things to happen. So I would imagine what I want people to do is say news, like really, if it's like a service, we should call it like what is it doing? So it's what we want to do is like send monthly newsletter, and then say with, you know, and I mean here it's like if there's going to be some parameters, so it might be that then you then send the events that you want to do with it. You could have them default, maybe, you know, as we think about the way in which we call it, then we would do something like this. We would just say, if it's not like this one here, it has like, you know, we have like, we're importing volunteer opportunities with a particular radius, you know, and then we're using dependency injection here to default the other collaborating entities that it needs to interact with. And so I might be tempted to go with this, because we're kind of the plan that we have is that, you know, we'll run it, and it's just going to grab whatever the events are that have been created in the last month, or you know, there's a lot of default behavior, so maybe run makes more sense. So then we'd have that single method, but within it, you know, we might have all sorts of methods for doing the formatting and sorting this, that, and the other, but they should be private methods. You know, like, so here we've got this one, I mean, we've got the with actually then passes on to a run method internally, but then in order to avoid having the methods be too long, we break out lots of private methods underneath. And usually the rule of thumb is we don't test the private methods. You know, we can just start by like testing at the high level. When we, you know, when we call this, does the things happen that we want? I mean, it's a different style, of doing. Oh, go on.
No, that I follow you.
Yeah. So like if with the outside in testing, that we would then do, you know, kind of an acceptance test at the top level and check that, you know, the HTML has gone to the right place ready for sending, or the campaign has been attempted to create, you know, in the way we expect. If we're doing if you're really keen on doing the inside out testing, which is where you're doing like you might, like here, I think, you know, you wanted to test that you could get like a set of the events in the right format, right? Yeah. And if you want to go that route, and it's not, you know, I'm sort of a fan of this route, but you know, both are okay there, and you know, we end up doing both at different times. From the inside out testing, then we might want to have like a, you know, like an event newsletter formatter, and that could be a different entity, and that would have a method, and we create something that only does this formatting role, and then we can test just that works. And then once we've got it working exactly the way we want it, then our big service can refer to the event newsletter formatter in order to create the thing in the right format. Does that make sense?
Yes, makes sense.
So kind of up to you how you want to go, but I think it's important to choose, one approach, and it's about this like one responsibility per class.
Yeah,
I do. Anyway, so sorry, that was a bit of a lecture. I hope that's helpful thoughts.
No, it was it was food for thought. Yeah,
good stuff. Okay, cool. Yeah, so then I guess we may be out of time. Now, have you done anything? The other thing I was thinking that you and I should do, Nicola, is we should do a run through of deploying to website 1, but maybe that's something we should do in the next Scrum, perhaps, rather than now. What do you think?
Yeah, sure. I can do it in the next Scrum.
Yeah. Do you want to try and make sure that everything on develop is on staging? It's just that I think you haven't done a production deploy before. I don't know if you've got the right permissions. So maybe if you can get everything on staging and check that it works there for website 1, then in the Kemp Beck Scrum today, or at the end, we'll just make sure that you're fully enabled to deploy the production.
Perfect. Yeah, I will do that.
All right. Great. Oh, well, lovely to see everybody. Any other questions or thoughts from anyone?
No, not for me.
Not for me too.
No? All right, fantastic. Well, good luck getting involved, Faith. Feel free to reach out to any of us. Great to hear that you're connecting with Nicola, and see you all again real soon. Bye for now.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.